Hey, we've been saying that there is always more than one way to play this stuff. Here is Steve Miller's Jet Airliner, originally written by Paul Pena in the early 70s. But of course, the intergalactic hit we know, Steve Miller's version of Jet Airliner, fantastic song, ton of fun to play. Now, 3 chords. It's only 3 chords. Now, there's always more than one way to play it. What I mean by that is, depending where you are in your guitar journey, we could just treat this A, D, and G. There's only 3 chords in it. Notice I'm capo 3 in case I forget to mention it. Capo 3, you're going to need a capo for this, grab that. You can also do this on your electric. I've chosen the acoustic simply because I think there's more of us doing it acoustically than electrically so. But either one is going to work. So capo 3, there are 3 chords. You could just strum through it if that's where you're at until you're adding more detail here and there. But we'll talk about the detail. But remember, it's more important to play the song than it is to have all this little bit of detail in there. But we'll talk about a shuffle rhythm. Instead of playing a straight A, you'll graduate toward playing the shuffle rhythm, which is this guy. And it's a lot of songs that use that. Blues stuff, rock stuff, we'll use that a lot. So that's called a shuffle rhythm. If that's new to you, we'll talk about that. You shuffle on the A, there's a shuffle on the D. It's the same thing, but close. We'll go through that slowly in just a sec. I want to thank you for coming back and subscribing and all that great stuff. Your thumbs up have met the world here in YouTube land. I really appreciate that. A lot of fun to hear from you all. And just to give you an idea where we're heading, if I put on the fabulous BeatBuddy here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a shuffle. So you see, it's a combination of strumming basic chords and adding that shuffle. A ton of fun, especially if maybe you've got 2 guitar players, you're jamming with somebody, one person could play the basic chords, the other person could do the shuffle. So let's get you through all that. As always, we'll do a slow play along, maybe half the song slow play along to get you going on that, and then at the very end, we'll do the full speed play along. I'll also talk about the fancy bit in the intro. So we'll start with this intro, let's call that, there's a couple of guitars doing the intro, so we'll start with the easier of the 2, but then we'll get to this guy before the full speed play along. So you may want to watch the video in its entirety before you dig in, just so you know where you should start. So that's always helpful. And as always, I will send you to patreon.com/guitaratwork. Grab these sheets. I've got 3 of them here for you. There's 2 with the actual song on it, and then 1 with details, which is all the fancy stuff that we're going to need in there. So that is cool. Go ahead. Now, Patreon does not have to be a lifelong commitment, and there's a ton of songs. I was going to count them and let you know. There's a ton of songs up there, and you can scoop stuff up, and we can do all these play-alongs together. So join me there, patreon.com/guitaratwork. And I want to thank Singular Sound, proudly affiliated with them for the BeatBuddy drum machine. You're hearing so many of you have grabbed them, which is great, and we're talking. I love it. I'm using the pop rock straight 8th pattern, and I'll tell you how to get that in just a second here. Piece of cake. Here's your A chord. No problem. There's many ways to finger an A. Here's a D. And here's a G. I'm using what I'll call the rock G. That's typical in that. So those are your 3 chords, and I'm going to suggest, if that's new to you, that you probably want to stop tape there and practice shifting in between those chords, right? Again, we got a capo on the 3rd fret, and so A, D, and G. But the shuffle for A, I'm going to put 1 finger there. Instead of just playing a straight A chord, I'm going to put my finger right there. There's your 2nd fret, speaking from the capo, 2nd fret from the capo on that D string, your 3rd thickest string. So there's your D string at the 2nd fret. First finger is doing that. I'm going to play just the A string and the D string with my right hand. Just that. Got a little buzz going on my guitar here. The weather is changing here in Canada. Oh, there we go. That's just 2 notes in there. Little buzz. There we go. I'm going to do that twice. Notice I'm resting my right hand. That helps me with detail. Otherwise, I might overshoot and hit strings that you don't really want in there. So I like to rest my hand, then everything's coming from the wrist that way. Check that out. So here's A again. There's 2 of those. Now ring finger. Keep that first finger where it is. Your ring finger is going to go to the 4th fret of the D string. 4th fret. And you hit the same 2 strings, the A and the D strings. The A is open. There you go. And then off he comes. You're back to the 1st finger. Let me do that again. Here's 2nd fret, 2nd fret. Now your 4th fret with the ring finger, and back to the 2nd fret. Have that D string. One more time. Here's your A shuffle. Ring finger goes on. ring finger goes off. Now we're going to count that. Those are eighth notes. If you don't know what that means, that's okay. It's going 1 and 2 and. So anytime you see a chord written, unless it's bracketed, we'll talk about the brackets in just a second. So anytime you see a chord written, you do that little cycle twice. So you get A, 1 and 2 and again 3 and 4 and that equals, so that's a full bar. So you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when you see A written like it is in the left corner, that means to play that cycle twice, right? And you may not hear the song in there until you get the speed that you need, right? Just to bring it to life. When something, D, my grad G. You're going to take that first finger down toward the floor, one string. My right hand has to do the same. I'm now playing the second fret here on the G string, and I'm going to play the D string and the G string, and that is your D shuffle. Ring finger goes to the fourth fret, just like it did in A, and back we go. Still resting that right hand to get some accuracy there. That's your D shuffle. The G is always strummed. So it's only the A and D you shuffle on. We'll talk. When something is bracketed, like you're seeing in the first line there, I've got it here in my trusty iPad. When something's bracketed, the D and the A are bracketed together, that means they get 2 beats each. Okay, so when something's bracketed, at least on my charts, it means it gets half the time that it got if it wasn't bracketed. So the A, just taking it from the top here, A. That's 2 cycles, which is 1 bar. Now here's your D. Back to A. They only get 1 each because they're bracketed. So you get this. Here's A, D, A, D, and back to A. That's the first line, looking at that sheet. Okay, so A, you probably want to stop there. If shuffles are new to you, it's a little strange maybe because you have your finger here on the D string and we're asking you to play it from the A string onwards. So if you're not familiar with the names of the strings, I know that's whipping by pretty quickly. But just saying on the A, you're hitting the A and the D strings, your second and third thickest strings. On the D, you're hitting the D and the G strings. And on the G, it's always full out. When G and D are bracketed together, they're both strummed. That's the only time you don't do the shuffle on D. So when G and D are bracketed together, they're both strummed, and that's it. That's all the detail you're going to need to know. Now, when we get to the play along, just in a second here, remember, it's all about recovery skills, okay? It's all about recovery skills and keeping on going. Just keep right on going. Supposing you're missing the shuffle all over the place, resort to a strum. Just stay with us. Try to be on the right chord and just do a little bit of something. That way you're learning it in real time. The only other thing I need to bring to your attention is at the end of the second line, the end of the second line of every verse, end of the second line, you'll see D, A, D, D with little dots over top bracketed. D, A, D. Those are punches. It's just going to do this. The chord D, A, D, twice. So D, A. Notice my fingering on A. I'll call that a rock fingering instead of tying up 3 fingers. Just barring it across like that. Just being careful with my right hand not to overshoot. So that's that section. End to the second line is D, A, D, and then back to A. Let me play the entire second line. So here's A, riding along. This big old jet plane. Here's it comes. Back to A. Let me do that again. Second line is this. Riding along. This big old jet plane. Now here's the punches right here. Again, D, A, D, D. Again, D, A, D, D. And you're back to the last D in that bracket section is a little longer than the other. So D, A, D, D, A, and it returns. You're going to hear a lot, if you're listening to the original recording, you're going to hear a lot of flourishes, you know. Those little flourishes, wait for that. So play along with me slowly, and then when we get to the real speed, start adding what you can and only what you can. So we do repeated playthroughs, and it just gets better, but it gets better in real time. That's the big thing. There are 2 guitars at least playing that intro. So let's do the guitar 1. I've written it out on your detail sheet here. You're going to find that right here. Go get those at patreon.com/guitaratwork. This guy here. So I'm going to play the A with my first finger. I'll call it again the rock fingering here. And I'm going to start it by putting my second finger here on the low E, 3rd fret. And get rid of him, and then there's your chord. Again, 2, 3, 4. Let it ring, 2, 3. Notice I got rid of the middle finger so they don't bleed together, those notes. So here's the top again. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2. There you go. That's worth doing. If you're not comfortable with that, just play a regular A chord for 4 bars. Sit there for 4 counts of 4 during that intro before the singer comes in and the song begins. So hey, that's that. Now we'll get to the fancy. Let's do a slow play along first though. The song comes in at 123 beats per minute. How do I know that? And how do I know what pattern to choose on the BeatBuddy, the fabulous BeatBuddy? I love it. I've been using it for years and years and years. There's links in the description below, and you get a 10% discount, and you help to support this channel if you use that promo code GAW10 at checkout. This is a fantastic device. It's way more fun than a metronome, way more fun. There's several to choose from. I'm using the straight ahead BeatBuddy, not the BeatBuddy Mini or anything like that, but they are great as well. I know lots of people that have those. I'm using the straight BeatBuddy because people are asking me. If you go to the Singular Sound website, you're going to see a song matching tool. I've got a little video up here. So you go to the Singular Sound website, go to the BeatBuddy menu, pull that up, and then you'll see a song matching tool. Pull that up, and then I typed in Jet Airliner, and sure enough, it came up as pop rock straight eighths. And that's preloaded on your BeatBuddy. So you just dial that up. It says it's in a default content that comes with your BeatBuddy pre-installed. And then it says 123 BPM, 123 beats per minute, right? So there, I just dialed that up and then bang on, it's fantastic. So it's as easy as that. There's a couple of thousand songs, I think, in that little song directory. And they keep adding stuff and taking your suggestions as well if there's stuff that you want to hear. So it's 123. I'm going to bring it for a slow play along. We're going down to 103. We usually take about 20 points off, so 103 beats per minute. And I'll get the fabulous BeatBuddy going, and it's as simple as this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your metronome. Ton of fun, right? And I'm going to play the intro 4 times. I'm just going to do a verse and a chorus. You're going to miss stuff. That's fine. Just try to keep right on going. Do what you can. Slow play along starts. And a 1, 2, and 3, 4. Intro 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Last one. Now here we go. Leaving home. D. Out on the road. D. I've been down A before. A again, riding along in this big old jet plane punches. A, third line, my love light seems so far away. G to D, punch. Feel like it's all been done. There's your A, last line of that verse. Somebody's trying to make me stay. G to D, strum it. Got to be D, moving A. Chorus, G, big old D, A, shuffle, G to D, A, G to D, big old Jet Airliner, G to D is here, we've got to intro twice, 2, 3, 4, goodbye, D, friends at home, D, people I've trusted, there we go, second line now. Got to go out, make my way, punches, busted, A again. My heart keeps calling me there again, A. G to D. As I get on the 707. Riding high coming, riding high. Tears in my eyes, G to D. Got to go through hell, A. Get to heaven now, chorus, G. Big old D. Shuffle A, airliner, G, don't carry, D, means too far away, A, G to D, big old D, A, airliner, G to D, is here, D, I've got to intro twice, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Hey, okay, that's a verse and a chorus, guys. That is a verse and a chorus. I'll go back up to 123. It's as easy as dialing up that knob to 123 beats a minute, the tempo knob. So that was the slow, just a verse and a chorus twice in there. Just now, you should be able to do that before you move on, right? It's reasonable. Stop tape or rewind that. Go over many, many, many times. And if you go to this full speed stuff too quickly, you might just find you get frustrated. You feel like you're not good at this or something, and you get frustrated. It's not the case. It is reasonable to do it at a slow tempo, even slower, maybe even slower than what we just did it. So I think there's a function on YouTube you can slow it down 75% or something like that, and maintain the normal pitch. So now the fancy intro, here we go for our full speed stuff. The fancy intro, you're going to find that on your detail sheet in that second line here. So I'm going to go open A. Now, second fret of the G string here. Then open, and back on the second fret. Let's do that again. And then off he comes again. Pull that up here. There we go. Top again. Open. And here's a hammer pull thing. I'm going to play the D string. Whoop, and hammer and pull with the first fret. So again, top. Last note. Now, if your hammers and pulls aren't as loud as you want, you got to be pretty sure-footed. On the pull-off, snap it down toward the floor. If you come straight off, you won't get the size of the note that you're looking for. So let me do this. Again, I'm resting my right hand, so I'll miss less strings. I usually miss one or two here and there, but I miss a whole lot less if I'm resting, and I know exactly where I am, kind of thing. Else it doesn't matter if I'm sitting or standing, because I'm always resting in the same spot. So that intro, again, here. See if now you should stop tape there if you want to learn that. It's great to have that kind of detail, but don't do it at the expense of the song. Okay, don't work on that before you can play the actual song. Okay, because you can do that in the background, and you can still at least jam with people. So that's your intro. That's the fancy part of the intro, and I put it almost as an afterthought at the very bottom right corner there. If you're just one guitar and you want to combine those two intro parts, here's the first part we did. It'd be pretty close to do this. That's written in the bottom corner there. So that's the bass note, and then the A chord. Then we launch into this guy, and it starts again. So that's if you're going to combine them. There's one note we're having to cheat in there because we're just one guitar, but that would be convincing anyway. Okay, so full speed play along. I'll be using the fabulous BeatBuddy and actually the Aeros Looper. We haven't talked about that. If your looping is a huge skill, I don't want to bog us down here, but I use the Aeros Looper again from Singer to Sound. It's the best looper I've ever had, and I've had several, believe me. Love the big screen on this thing. You see your loop, you see where it's going to start and where it's going to finish. I love it. If I combined those two parts, just to give you an idea here, it's plugged into my BeatBuddy. It just plugs in and away you go via MIDI, and I'll set up a new song. Simple as that, and there's a fresh song. When I press go on the BeatBuddy, it's going to start the loop. So I'm going to do this. I'll do that a couple of times, and then I'll do the other part. So let's get this guy going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Look, no hands. See? So that's guitar 1. Let's get the first guitar. Here's the intro, get the second guitar part. Awesome. Ton of fun. So that is the Aeros Looper plugged into the BeatBuddy, and it is so easy to do and user friendly. I absolutely love it. And I'll just go back to this, doing, big screen on that, and they talk to each other as you see. Looping is big because it kind of gets you ready to play with other people, and a lot of advantages to this one. So again, the descriptions, the links are in the description, all that good stuff. Go grab BeatBuddy, Aeros Looper, or both, or whatever you can do, and just fabulous. We've been talking, a lot of people are buying them, so good on you. Here comes full speed play along, and I'm going to have to scroll halfway, so bear with me there and do what you can. I'll call them out as best I can while kind of speaking out the lyrics. And are we recording? We are. Okay. I'm going to do the fancy intro. You could do this part instead, or the fancy bit, whatever you want. So here comes 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Here we go. out on the road. D, I've been down before, riding along in this big old jet plane. Punches down. My home, but my love light, so far away. G to D, feel like it's all been done. A, somebody's trying, make me stay. G to D, got to be D, moving on. Chorus, G to D, big old D, airliner. A, G, don't carry D, too far away. G to D, big old D, jet airliner. G to D, here, intro twice. Verse, goodbye, D, friends, home, D, goodbye to people. A, trusted. A, got to go out, make my way. Punch it here now. Might get busted. Good. A again. My heart keeps calling me backwards. G to D, as I get on the 707. Riding high. A coming, riding high. Tears in my eyes. G to D, got to go through hell before you. A, get to heaven. Chorus, G to D, big old D, airliner. G to D, don't carry D, too far away. G to D, big old D, airliner. G to D, it's here, D, and I've got intro twice. Bottom of the page, touching down, New England, down, D, feel the heat, A, coming down. I've got to keep on, keep it on, punch it now. Spin it around, A again. Going with some hesitation, G to D. Know that I can show what I see. Last line, don't want to get caught up. Shit. G, going down in the city. Chorus, page 2, big old D, airliner. G to D, don't carry me too far away. G to D, airliner. G to D, it's here, D, that I've got to stay. G to D, big old D, airliner. Page 2 there. Don't carry me too far away. G to D, big old D, jet airliner. G to D, it's here, D, that I've got intro twice. Last chorus. G, D, A. Don't carry me D, too far away. G to D, big old D, jet airliner. It's here, D, and I've got to stay. G, big old jet airliner. Carry me D to my home. G to D, big old D, jet airliner. And by this time, there we go. By this time, we're fading out. You can barely hear it in there, but I guess if you're around a campfire or something, you could jam that out just so the same G, D, A, round around until you're feeling it. Like it's a good time to end. So I hope you did okay with that. Stare at your sheets. What can I say? Go grab those patreon.com/guitarwork. Grab your sheets and play along, play along, play along. I can't say it often enough that recovery skills are huge. That's why play-alongs are such a good idea. We're all playing alone a lot, and when you get together with other people, it's like, oh, you want to play too? Okay. And so we agree that the BeatBuddy in this case is the law. He's keeping the 4 beats to the bar kind of thing. We play to him or your metronome. Hopefully it's a BeatBuddy, and have a lot of fun with it. So grab your sheets, Patreon. I do appreciate it. I want to thank you again for coming back. I really appreciate it. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Let me know how you're doing with it. Feel free to ask questions, and I want to thank you for all your support. Your thumbs up mean a lot here in YouTube land, and I appreciate that. Things are going so well, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Thanks for your comments and suggestions and all that. And just have a good time with it, okay? So, see you again soon. 1, 2, 3, 4.